Hello, dear viewers. Welcome to Wild Werewolf. Are you ready to embark on a wild and thrilling journey into the world of werewolves? Here, we'll explore the untamed nature, the raw power, and the captivating stories of these mythical creatures. So, get comfortable and let's unleash the wildness together. Chapter 10, Jade P. OV. We walked into the temple. It's a lot bigger inside than out. My dad told me that he was going to help the council, or something like that. So me, Sasha and the guys were left to explore the temple. As we walked, we saw so many paintings and statues. They appear to be the same person. We continued walking until we were at the end of this long and wide hall, or the only hall in this case. At the end of the hall was a giant statue of the same woman that we've been seeing in paintings and statues this whole time. As I looked at it, I took a step forward from everyone else. That's the moon goddess, Sasha said. We worship her Oliver finish. I continued looking at this statue. When I heard my dad's voice, I jumped a little when I heard my name. I asked my dad. The werewolf council will be in here with you in a second, he tells me. A few seconds later, a woman and 3 men in pure white guest walks in. They all stop in front on me, looking at me face to face. The woman steps up to me from the men and looks at me as if she were trying to look for something on me. Oh my goddess, she gasps. The men behind her raise their eyebrows, as if they're surprised too. You are Tamisha, the woman says. Who's that, I ask. You're Wolf, the woman tells me. I look at her for a second. Oh, where are my manners? I am Agatha and these are my brothers Romo, Lee, Manny. And you are the Black Wolf, she says, smiling. Nice to meet you all, I said weakly. Now tell me, dear. How old are you, she asks. 17, I answer. Okay. Well, you are a little young to become queen. She was cut off by one of her brothers whispering in her ear. That is true, she says to her brother. She looks me in the eye. Your mother was a great queen at the young age of 14. Agatha, she can do it, the one the men say. I don't know about that. When did you start changing, she asks me, ignoring her brother. A few weeks ago, I answer her. Then your wolf is not ready, she says with a serious tone. But Agatha, my dad was cut off quickly. She is not ready. Her wolf barely connected with her. She's more human than werewolf and I can smell it all over her. She was cut off by her brothers. She should show us her wolf. Agatha stopped to think for a second. It felt like as if her voice has went from a voice of the most sweetest lady to demon woman. Okay, Lee, you put a great idea in my head, turns back to smile at him. I look back at my friends, and they seem like they are scared stiff. Even Vincent. Jade, Agatha said. I turn back around to see her glance. I have decided that if you want to prove yourself, you need to be around a pack. Max Spidey, my fated mate. Lights flashed around me and my wounds spun with the beat of the heavy techno music the DJ was playing. So I will need you all to check out of your hotel. And be at Sunray Pack grounds at sunset, she tells me, backing up and walking away with her brothers. We are on our way back to the hotel. It was still that awkward ride with Prince. I had to break the silence. So I say. He turns his head quickly to face me. What are you listening to? I continue. Spanish music, he answers. Oh, okay, I say. And it was complete silence after that. I should have started this conversation with something else. I've never been really good with talking to guys. Prince B. OV. We made it back to the hotel. I kind of rushed to my room and flipped on my bed. I just looked up at the ceiling. Take her, I hear a voice. I rolled over to ignore the voice, knowing it was my wolf. He's such a horny bastard. I heard that asshole, he told me. I just chuckled at that. Sometimes I wish I were human. Life would be so much easier. No, it won't. We cast humans, my wolf says, getting into my thoughts. Shep, I say out loud. I soon hear a knock on my room door. I quickly go to open it. Sasha and Oliver were at the door. I opened the door wider to let them in. I led them to my mini living room and sit across from them on my left seat. So what's up, I say with a fake smile. What's up with you, Oliver says. What do you mean, I ask. You're in love, Sasha says. I was acting as if I were confused. You found your mate, Oliver says quickly. How do you know? I asked. You changed, Oliver's answered me. We know how the whole finding your mate thing goes. Prince Sasha says. We're gonna help you get her, Oliver says. I was surprised to hear what Oliver was saying, considering that he doesn't really like Jade. Okay, I say to them. At sunset, Jade P. O.V. We made it to the pack grounds. I have to admit that this is a very pretty countryside. Reminds me of home. The three brothers we saw earlier escorted us to the pack house, or whatever you call it. The house is huge. The house is huge. Biggest mansion I have ever seen. And my dad, Luke, my friends, and I supposed to be staying in it. I was in the room they put me in. The room is gorgeous with a queen-size bed, and the view you get from the window is breathtaking. I heard a knock on the door and went to open it. Lee was at the door. I learned the brothers' names, and the youngest, what is closest to my age's name, is Lee. He's pretty cool. Hey, since you're here, you want to go to party tonight, he says with a smirk. And as long as my friends are going, I tell him. I already asked. They're all going, he says, keeping the smirk. Okay. Thanks for telling me, I smile, almost closing the door. Wait, he says. Yes, I asked, a little confused. Will you like to come with me to the party, he asks. As a date, I was surprised. Kind of, he says with a smile. Sure, I say quickly and close the door. That was weird. Wait, did I just say yes to a date? Oh my god. I was asked out. For the party, I didn't really know what to wear. So Sasha came in my room to help me. She was cute with her gray crop top and black skater skirt and black sneaker wedges. She picked for me a black strapless V-neck crop top with black skinny jeans and black frick heels. We walked out my room to see the guys waiting on us. Oliver smiled at Sasha. He was looking good too. We went downstairs to see Lee waiting for us. JD says with a big smile. He looked straight at my boobs, cursed my kneecaps, and we headed out the door. We walked towards a glow that was in the trees. We made it to the party and there were a lot of gorgeous people, men and women. Jade, will you like for me to get you a drink? Lee asks me. Yes, please, I answer. I watch as Lee left me. He's a very good-looking guy. Muscular body, about 6'1", messy hair that fits him, masculine face, nice brown eyes. He came back quickly. He hands me my drink. This punch is good. Lee and I talk for a while. A few times I would glance at Prince a distance away from me, looking at me. Jade Lee catches me looking at Prince. Yes, I say to him. Time to have a little dance, he smirks at me. I look at the dance floor to see a bunch of couples grinding one each other. I know, did he know? It's fine if you don't wanna, he says with a soft smile. I smile, looking down at ground to avoid eye contact with him. Why is he so nice to me? Suddenly the song Hey Mama by David Guetta comes on. I start to sway to the beat, not really noticing I am. How about now, he asks. Okay, why not? We make it to the dance floor. We start to dance together. When this Spanish song I know called Sixa, and by J.B. Alvin comes on, Lee grabs my hips and I start to wind them. From the corner of my eyes, I see Prince grinding on another girl from behind. For some reason I get jealous and turn around and put my butt on Lee's junk. Prince notices me and leaves the dance floor. I turn back around and sway with Lee to another song. Prince V. Oh God, I hate the way Jade is grinding on this guy. I wish she can do the same to me. I sit and watch Jade for a few minutes until Oliver and Sasha came over to chill with me. I can't believe Jade hasn't jumped all over you by now, Oliver tells me. He's doing good on waiting for her. Oliver, she hits him on the arm. I wish she can dance on me like that, I tell them. I look over back at Jade to see Lee's hand sliding down to Jade's butt. Something in me burst when I found myself walking over to the both of them, and I simply punched Lee in his jaw. Oliver and Vincent were suddenly holding me back, and Jade is screaming and holding Lee. Oliver and Vincent walks me away from the party. When we were far enough away, they let me go. Dude, you can't let these people get to you, Oliver tells me. But that was a smooth left hook. You threw at his face, Vincent chuckles. I saw him touch her, was I said to him before walking away. I quickly run off into the woods. JP. Lee is fine now. I wonder why Prince did that. 1 second Lee was dancing with me. Another sec and he was on the floor. I will really like to understand this werewolf stuff. Because I just don't understand it now. I kind of felt embarrassed, so I completely just left the party. I made it to this lake and found a couple of big rocks and sat on one. I just stared into the beautiful moonlight. It's beautiful, isn't it? I hear Prince beside me. Why are you here? I asked. To get away, he answers. It was silent for a few moments. I'm sorry for ruining your date, he says. It wasn't a date, I sighed. It looked like a date to me, he snaps. He was a perv, realizing what Lee was doing to me. I felt very comfortable with talking to Prince. It felt right. If that even made sense. I think I have a crush on him. Chapter 11, Jade P. I wake up feeling myself smiling. It was so amazing talking to Prince last night. He's such a sweet guy. But there's something about him that I just can't put my finger on. He looking us and seems like such a powerful guy. Thinking past that wasn't even hard. His eyes are very nice to look at. Ocean blue. He told me where he's from. Brazil seems like such a beautiful and peaceful country. He never told me why he left. He didn't say anything negative. I get up, take a shower, and put on some blue jean shorts and an all-yellow V-neck shirt. With my yellow and white Converse to accompany my outfit. I walk out the door only to bump into Vincent. Whoa, he says with a chuckle. I'm sorry. I wasn't watching where I was going, I tell him. It's okay, he looks me in the eye. Where are headed to, he asks. Am I not even sure? I look down my eye to avoid eye contact. Well, I'm going to get a bit to eat. See you around, he walks away. I sigh with relief. Wait, where's Sasha? Wait, I tell Vincent. Yeah, you started walking down the stairs. Where's Sasha? I ask. Well, she's in Oliver's room, he continues walking down. You might need wait and let them have a little alone time, if you know what I mean, he finishes. You, I say. I hope that isn't what I think it means. I hope it is. I hear my wolf. Hi, wolf. What do you mean by that? I ask her in my mind. I mean, that they're mating. And you should get a little taste of Prince, she tells me. What I whisper. I look around to see if anyone heard me talking to myself, then quickly walk back into my room. What I tell her. He's our mate, she says excitedly. Mate, I repeat. Yes, mate, she says. Princeby. I walk into the dining room, not noticing that I was smiling so big. Vincent waves at me and points at an empty chair next to him. I walk over and sit in the chair, of course. So what got you smelling this fine morning, he asks me with a smirk. I had a chance to talk to her last night, I tell him. I thought you got laid, he rolls his eyes. I stay silent for a second. Wait, how does he know about me and Jade being mates? How you know about Jade and I ask him. Well, let's see. That time we were in Sasha's house. You look at me crazy when I was flirting with her. And last night you punched a guy for touching her, he explained. It's pretty obvious, he finishes. All I could do is nod. I did make it pretty obvious. He wasn't lying. The dumbest person on earth can figure that out. Man and yum, Vincent flirts with a young server putting his plate down. I look at him. While she puts my plate down in front of me. Thank you, I tell her. The girl simply takes a last look at Vincent and walks away blushing. You just love torturing women, don't you? I tease him. Well, I'm a natural tease, giving me a cheeky smile. She's cute though, he tells me. Do you even know how old she is? I ask him. Old enough to have a period, he laughs. I look at him. I'm just kidding. I can't take that little girl's innocence like that, he chuckles and nods his head. I kind of sighed in relief. Vincent loves sex, but I'm glad that he'll never go this far. I'm glad, I tell him. I happen to look at the doorway to the room we're in, and I see Jade walking in. She's looking so beautiful. Nice for her to show me her legs. What's wrong with me? Why am I thinking like this? She shows me eye contact and smiles. She walks over to our side the table and sits in the seat next to me. Wow, good morning, she says. Morning, I reply. The girl that gave me my food put a plate in front of Jade. Jade looks at the food as if she was about to devour it. Before she could, her dad walks up to her. Jade, you must come with me, Stan says to Jade. But I'm about to eat, she tells him. I'm sorry, but it's very important. You need your throne, he exclaims. Jade gives him a frown before getting up and walks out the room with him. Damn. Jade P. O.V. My dad and I walk out the pack house. We walk for about 2 minutes to get to another building. When we walk in the building, I could notice how my dad was breathing hard and his fists were clenched. What was going on? What did I do? I made it to the conference room with a super long table in the middle with the right amount of chairs. Agatha and her brothers were in there, with a few other people. Jade, Agatha greets me. Agatha, please tell her what's going on. My dad addresses her. Jade, we have a problem. We don't believe that you are mature enough to be queen, she tells me. I was confused. We had a get-together last night, and my youngest brother was apparently hit in the face by one of your friends, she addresses me. But I didn't do anything, I tell her. My brother, our future alpha, was hurt by someone who's around you every day. And we do not need a violent queen, she snaps. Please, Agatha, give her another chance, my dad was begging her. As my dad continued to beg her, I just thought back on what she did yesterday. She doesn't really want me to be queen. She wants to keep her power. I snap my head to look at her. Jade, my dad calls to me. I look at him. What's wrong, he asks. What, I ask. Why are you colorized a different color, he asks. Her wolf is taking control. See, she can't control her wolf or herself, she says. Shut up, I say so low no one can hear me clearly. What was that, Agatha asks. I said shut up. You need to stop with the bring me down and making up excuses. My mother was the queen and Artemisia shall be queen as well. This is my throne. I have prepared for this my whole life. And do you even think that being in Jade is easy? Hell no. I decided to wait for her to actually know about me. My grandmother told me to do so. You shut up. Shut up, my wolf spoke through me. Everyone in the room was surprised that my wolf can actually speak through me. And as for you, Lee, if you're supposed to be alpha, act like it. You weak son of a bitch. You have touched my human the wrong way and I do not appreciate it one bit. No wonder my mate punched you, she finishes. I gasped for air, not really knowing what just happened. My dad touches my shoulder trying to comfort me for some reason. I look at my dad. Then out of nowhere I see darkness. Chapter 12, that night. Jade P. Oh, Fee. I jolt up from my pillow. Oh my goodness. How long have I been out? The last thing I remembered. I was in this office talking to Agatha. I was angry at her for some reason. It was dark outside and the only thing that light up my room was the moonlight. Goodness, I say out loud. I know, right? A female voice came out of nowhere. I jumped at the sound of her voice. I never heard this voice before. Who's there? I asked. It's me. Your mother, a woman with snow-white skin and white hair and green eyes, appears in front of me. I gasped. It really was my mom. I knew her from the pictures my dad showed me some years ago. Don't be scared, my beautiful princess, she said calmly. What are you? I was cut off. We're here to watch over you, she says. We're, I asked. Yes, child, another voice says. And another woman appears next to my mom. She has snow-white skin and jet black hair and green eyes like my mom. I am Artemis, the moon goddess. And your grandmother, she explains. I can't believe my eyes. They look just like me, except I have my dad's eyes. Now I know where I got my pale skin from. Wow was all I could get on my mouth. I know, child, my grandmother says. This is not a dream, my mom tells me. Mom, why don't I have you in my life? I said, teared up a little. You do. I'm not dead. And I'm not a spirit. No one can kill us, she says to me. Does everyone else know? I ask her. No, she answers. I look her up and down for a second. I see why Dad loved you so much. He told me, The one thing he loved most about you is your eyes and pale skin. I smile, remembering. She smiled. Love your dad so much, that's why I placed you with him, my grandmother brags. Mother, my mom sounds annoyed but chuckles. I see where I've gotten the pale skin from, and the black hair. I have a question, I pause. Whose side of the family have big boobs, I ask. I have big boobs, my mom says. And so, do I, my grandmother says. Okay, I sighed in relief. Jade, I came here to tell you that you don't have to claim your throne. You already have it. It was already yours when you were born, my mom tells me. I look at my grandmother for a second, thinking of how she looks so young. I know what you're thinking, child. How do I look so young? I never age. I was born this way and I will always be this way, she says. Okay, I look down. Before we leave, child, I will like to say that we will be appearing tomorrow. To tell everyone in this pack that you are queen. And they can never take that away from you, my grandmother tells me. And congratulations on finding your mate. I knew he was the right when I first laid eyes on him, she finishes and disappears. My mother walks closer to me and touches my face. Her hand was soft and warm, showing me that she's still very alive. Good night, princess, she disappears. Stampy. OV flashback. Stan, I need to run. And I need you to take Jay with you, Carla says to me, breathing heavily. But I can't leave you. You are my mate. I am here to protect you, I tell her. Honey, this is my fight. I have to do this to protect the pact, but mostly importantly you and our princess, Carla tells me. We are mates. We fight together. We die together, I said. I can't risk Jade's life. She's our only hope of werewolf kind. And you will be able to protect her. I love you so much. But you must go. I beg you, she tells me. Okay. But if you die, I will regret leaving you for the rest of my life, I hug her. Don't regret it when Jade is a part of me, she says with her beautiful green eyes staring right through me. God, I love this woman more than life itself. We were in your house, while a war completely broke out. She moved her lips closer and closer to mine, but before we could even kiss, our front door slammed open. Carla looks back towards the sound and looks back at me, though her eyes full of fear. Carla. The sound of Raid's voice. Go please, Carla tells me once again. I pick up Jay from her bassinet where she was sleeping peacefully and I snuck out the back door. And I quickly made a run for the woods before our house was surrounded by Raid's terror group. Flashback ends. It's really hard to think about that almost every day of my life. I miss my one real love. I know this may sound selfish, but I would have let the whole pack die just to save Carla. Her long white locks, green eyes, pink lips, and snow-white skin would be worth to fight over. She was my queen, my wife, my best friend, my oxybite, my fated mate. Lights flashed around me and my wounds spun with the beat of the heavy techno music that DJ was playing. Given to me by her own mother, the moon goddess. I have to go on with the day, noticing that it's 9:30 in the morning. I have to check on Jade. She passed out yesterday. I honestly don't know what happened to her. I will get up when I find the strength. Chapter 13, Sasha P. Olvia. Jade, are you okay? I ask her sitting on the bed. Yes, I am, she tells me. You know, you can go back to bed if you wanted to, I tried convincing her. No, I'm fine. Something good is going to happen today, and I need to be there to see it, she tells me with a big smile on her face. I honestly don't know what has gotten into Jade this morning. I believe she hit her head when she passed out. A knock was on our door a few minutes later, and her dad walks in. I give him a smile to greet him. Jade, are you all right? He asks. I'm fine, Dad. I smiles at him. What are you so excited about? He asks her. I know, right? Something great is going to happen today, she tells him. That's the same answer she gave me. Ugh. What's going on with her, I want to know. Jade P. Oh, V. I know I'm acting very weird right now, but I just know my mom and grandmother are showing up here today. And even though I only seen them once, I just can't wait to see them again. You should see what Prince is doing, my wolf says out of nowhere. Why, I ask her in my head. He's your mate. It's so surreal to not be by his side at all times, she tells me. I don't think I'm comfortable with that yet. We barely know each other like that, I tell her. You're so difficult, she tells me, then goes silent. Hello, I call out to her. Ugh. I'm being difficult. Now she's being difficult. Jedi gets my attention. Yes, I reply. There is a pack meeting and we need to go, he tells me. What, I was confused. Yes, and gladly you're dressed. Now let's go. You too, Sasha, he walks out. Sasha and I follow him. We walk out the pack house to an outdoors area with a stage set up. Everyone was gathering up, and I could see Agatha and her brothers on the stage. Sasha, Matt Spidey, my fated mate. White splashed around me and my wind spun with the beat of the heavy techno music the DJ was playing. And I were at the very back, so one didn't really notice us. Hello, son, Ray Pack, she speaks into a microphone. The pack gets completely quiet. She starts to speak about events happening soon, and when the next meeting will be, and other important things. Now, as for the queen thing that caught my attention, Jade is not fit to be a proper queen. Maybe we shall take a vote on the next queen, and I will be running against her, she continues. I cannot believe her. She wants to be queen. She wants to have power. Now we need to have a couple of more people to run. I will be contacting alpha females around the world, she finishes. That will not be necessary, my mom appears and says out of nowhere. My mom was on stage standing next to my grandmother. Carla Agatha sounded surprised. It's me, my mom says. My mom is dressed in the long white silk gown, her hair the same way as last night. My grandmother appeared to have the same white gown on. Listen, son, Ray Pack. I am Carla, your formal queen, and I have came to apologize to all of you for leaving. I have saved you all from raid and left you afterwards, and I regret it. I was never dead. I am still very alive, and I now live up in the heavens with my mother. Jade, come here, please, she held her hand out to the crowd. A space started to form in the middle of the crowd for me to easily walk through to get up to my mom. I stand in my place looking at the crowds on both sides of me. I have to admit I was kind of surprised, but I decided that maybe I should walk. I started walking. It seems like it took forever to make it to the stage stairs in front of me. I finally end up in front on my mom and grandmother. Hello, princess, my mom gives me a soft smile. I smile at her and mother with greet. Turn to the crowd. Child, my grandmother commands. I do as she tells me. When I do, I see hundreds of faces staring at me. Even Prince, Oliver, and Vincent were staring. Son, Ray Pack, my grandmother yells out. I am not only the moon goddess, but I am Jade's grandmother. Carla is my daughter and she was queen. Now it's Jade's time, she tells the crowd. That's preposterous, Agatha snaps at my grandmother. You dare step up to me, my grandmother said in a calm voice. She shouldn't be queen. I should, Agatha says. If I wanted you to be queen, you would have been already, my grandmother tells Agatha. Agatha looks at the crowd. How do we know that Jade will not leave us? She's a child. Knows nothing about our kind. We are the first werewolf pack. This here is where werewolves were born. Our queen, Carla, has abandoned us. If it wasn't for me, you all would have been dead a long time ago. Who do you choose to lead you? An alpha blood or a nothing, Agatha says. Jade is something, my mom says with anger. I look at Agatha. Jade is a queen, my mom continues. Who will follow her, Agatha asks. Everyone here, including me. She is our only hope of werewolf kind. Mother has showed me. Raid will raise again. This time even stronger than before, my mom says. He only attacked because of you, Agatha yells at my mom, then walks off stage with her brothers following her. The three of us turn to the crowd that's becoming restless. Calm children, my grandmother says. The crowd gets quiet. My mom walks away and comes back, the little tiara that's shaped like vines with little black flowers all around them. She simply put it on my head. Repeat after me, my mom tells me. Okay, I said. I, Jade and Artemisia, she says. I, Jade and Artemisia, I repeat. The Black Wolf, she says. The Black Wolf, I repeat. Angel of Life, she says. Angel of life, I repeat. And protector of all, she says. And I, of course, repeat. This was all surreal to me. Is this really happening? Am I really claiming my throne? Jade, you may turn to your people, she tells me. I do as she tells me. And out of nowhere, everyone in the crowd. Cheers from everyone. Chapter 14. Jade P. OV yesterday was weird yet exciting. Everyone was surprisingly supportive of me and wanted me to be queen. Last night my mom decided to stay on Earth soils with me. And my dad. As for my dad, after watching the whole event, I haven't seen him last night or all this morning. I wonder if he's okay. Stampy. OV. I happened to find the moon goddess worship temple for the pet grounds. This will be the perfect place to thank. I remember this place as a kid. It was quiet and calm. All the events splicing back in my head from the past and yesterday is overwhelming. My mate. Maddox Spidey. My fated mate. White splashed around me and my wounds spun with the beat of heavy techno music the DJ was playing. My love is back. How will I be able to talk to her the same way I did 18 years ago? Heist, and I hear Carla's voice from behind me. Carla, I say. Mind if I join you, she asks. Feel free, I say. Look at me, she tells me. I tell her. Please, she begs. I turn to her with tears in my eyes. She had tears in her eyes also. We look at each other for a second, then took ourselves in each other's embrace. I missed you so much, she tells me. I missed you, I tell her. Oliver P. Oh, V. Even though it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm still in bed. What's even better is that I'm still in bed with Sasha. Oliver, Sasha says in her sleep. Yay, answer her. She relaxes completely by wrapping her arm around my bare waist. I couldn't have anything else better than this right now. Prince P. LV. Now she's queen. What should I do now, I ask consent. She's still your mate no matter what, Vincent says while lighting up a cigarette. You know those are really bad for you, I tell him. And bad for me too. You want a puffer, he asks. Hell no, I chuckled. More for me. Then he takes another puff. Do you know long it's been since I've had sex, I ask. How long, he replies. Around 6 months, I tell him. Really? It's been a week for me, he says, smiling. Man, really, I say him. Every week I do it 3 times with 3 different girls, he tells me. That's disgusting, I frown at him. Says take an inhale of the cigarette, then exhaled. Stampy. Oh, Vist, and I have to tell you something, Carla says. What is it, I reply. We must leave here soon. Agatha wants our daughter dead, she tells me. How do you know, I ask. Mother just told me, she says. Okay, I tell her. We have to leave tonight. That way no one will really see us, she looks me in the eye. We have to tell the kids. Prince P. V. I left Vincent. I want to see Jade. I heard from a few people that she's at the lake. I made it to the lake with her feminine smell already hitting me in the face. She is here. I look around to find her sitting on the ground close to the water. Hey, I walk up to her. She smiles without looking at me as she looks straight ahead. I sit beside her. What are you doing here, I ask. Same reason why you're here, she says. What's your reason, I ask. In hopes of seeing you, she answers. I smirk at her as she looks at me. Can you tell me something, she all of a sudden says. Okay, what, I ask. Are you an alpha, she asks. Now I chuckle, trying to play off my reaction. Yes, you are, she says. How, I ask. Damn. How did she find out? Tell me your story, she says. Flashback, Dad, I don't want to be alpha and I can't be mated to Maria, I tell my dad. You have alpha blood running through your veins. You have no choice. And Maria will be a suitable mate for you. She says alpha blood, he tells me. No, I mumbled. What did you say to me, my dad snaps. Dad, I'm only 15. You told me I'll be ready at 18. And I can't mate it to a girl whose parents been killed by our pack, and she's been kidnapped, I tell him. You'll be alpha. When I say the alpha, he grabs my face tightly. You remember that you're the one who killed first. I just finished for you. Because you're weak, he pushes my face away. I have done whatever it took for these other packs to fear me. And they will fear my son as well. Our family name stays strong. And we take what we want. He walks away. Flashback ends. You might not want to hear I tell her. Tell me, she says. Okay, I took a deep breath. I supposed to be alpha of the Amazon pack, which is the most deadly and heartless pack in the world. Unlike my dad, I had feelings and a heart. Growing up, he always told me that the pack must fear me, everyone must fear me. I didn't want that. I wanted peace, I tell her. Where was your mom in this situation, Jade asks me. My dad killed her when I was a baby. He wanted 3 sons out of her and that was it. He got what he wanted. He told me how he had to force my mom into I coughed a little. Sex, my wolf growl at that word. What else do you need to know, I ask her. That's it for now, she says. So how does it feel to be in charge, I ask her with a chuckle. I wouldn't say I'm in charge. I have a lot to learn. Gladly, my mom is here to teach me, she smiles. Your mother is a beauty, I tell her. You think? She looks at me. I see where you got your looks from. I take her chin in the hand. I know, right? She takes my hand off her chin. Then stands up. We should go. It's getting dark. I'm no longer safe in these pack rounds. She holds out her hand for me to grab. I grab it as she tries to pull me up as she stumbles in my lap. You're heavier than you look, she says roughly with her stomach presses up against my thighs. I laugh while I pull her into my arms and stand up with her. Then curves. I wish I had my paws on her. I heard Desawilly. That sick dog. I heard that cholo. Jade looks away with face that looks as if her were listening to someone. She looks back at me. We need to talk to my dad, she tells me. You learned how to mind link already, I asked. What's that, she asked. Who just took you about your dad, I asked confused. My grandmother, she take my wrist and pulls me through the trees with her. Chapter 15, Jade P. Oh. My mom and dad wanted me to leave Greece for my safety. So we snuck out the pack grounds and made our way back home. I'm really glad to be back home. Plane ride took forever and had a whole weekend to get ready to go to school again. I'm in calculus. As everyone struggles in this class, I find it very easy. Actually, I find every single one of my classes very easy. I'm sitting in my desk. I'm kind of thinking about Prince. What is he doing right now? I didn't notice that I was looking out the window of the classroom. Did I heard my teacher? I look at him. Since you're not paying any attention, answer this question up on the board, he says. The answer is 2,456,798. Rounding it out to 2.5, I yell him. I'm okay. Just look at the front next time, he goes ahead and continues with his teaching. I didn't have to think about this question to answer it. That's simple functions. Back to Prince. The school day is over now. As I walk into the parking lot, I'm stopped by Victoria. Jade, she quickly walks up to me. Vicky, I say smiling. Someone is happy. What are you doing for your birthday? If you don't know, I have to come over tonight. We need to talk about it. I have to repay you for making my 18th the shit, she says while flipping her beautiful blonde hair. Okay. Come over at 700. I'll buy us some smoothies, I smile. What kind for me, she asks, putting her hand around her ear. Strawberry banana. Light on the banana, I smile at her. See you at your place, she gives me a hug and walks to her car. I love my best friend. That night, other than the fact that I bought the smoothies, I also decided to order us some pizza. I'm hungry for real. The doorbell rung and I look at the clock. It's 6:55. Oh, she's early. I went to open the door for her. Hey, Victoria says with a big smile. Hey, I say back to her. We walk into the kitchen and sat at the breakfast table. Okay, boo. Your birthday is in a week. We have to figure out everything tonight. Now off of what I know about you. Your favorite colors are black and navy blue and red. Favorite holiday is Thanksgiving. You play volleyball. You love all genres of music. You love to dance. Now what am I missing, she asks herself. What does Thanksgiving have to do with my birthday, I ask her. We'll have lots of food at your party, she says. Okay. You know my dad is paying for this, right? We're gonna be on a budget, I tell her. Oh, don't worry. I've talked to your dad already. He said for you to get whatever you wanted, she says. I know, wait, you talked to him, I ask. Yay, I was trying to make sure that everything was okay. That way you can have the time of your life. She reaches and touches my hand. Okay. Just to let you know, whatever we find, we need to try to find it cheaper, I tell her. Well, she agrees. Now I found this place where no one will even know you're having a party. It's a lakeside picnic area. Whoever wants to swim, they can swim. Several different sitting areas and a place for a DJ. We can call the park now and set up a date, she continues. Cool. You have their number, I ask. Yes, actually, she pulls out her phone and dials up the number. Hi, is this Richard? Hi, Richard. I would like to set up a date to use your lakeside picnic area. Next Saturday. It is. Cool. It's for my best friend's birthday party. How much of a discount? 50. Cool. I set it up under the name Jade. Thanks. She sits down her phone and looks at me. We got it for $50. Oh my goodness, are you serious? I say to her. Yes, she says. Okay, let's continue now since have an official place, I tell her. DJ Moon, she says. Oh yes, he's the best. I have his number. I pick up my phone and dial his number and put it on speaker. Hello. Hey Moon, I say to him. What's up, Jade? Haven't heard from you in a while. I know. How have you been, I ask. Good. DJ business is growing. What do you need? I need you to DJ for me at my 18th birthday party, I said. Cool. What day? Next Saturday, I tell him. Cool. Send me the info. $1 thank you, I tell him. No problem. Night, I replied. Our pizza came and we continued with our party planning. Wingstop will be our caterers. And we wrote a whole list of what we should buy to eat. We called to this lady who can make some incredible cakes at our local bakery, and she told me that she can make a Harley Quinn cake. That'll be awesome. We ordered the decorations online and they'll be here in 3 days. Now your outfit, Victoria says. What about it, I ask. You need to look hot on your birthday. We're going shopping this weekend. And maybe you can invite Sasha because you'll need way more than my help, she says, looking away. Okay. We'll go this weekend, I agreed. This will be an amazing party. I just know it. We'll work on the invites later, she says and stands up. Okay, standing up to and walking her to the front door. Good night, Jay, Victoria says as she walks out the door. Good night, Vicky, I say back to her and close the door. Chapter 16, Jade's Dream. I wake up all of a sudden to see myself sitting in the same tree shaped like a throne. I look around, see the same wolves around me. And I look down to see a black wolf at my feet. Wait. That's my wolf. I look around again when the wolves start to change into humans. I see Sasha, Vincent, Oliver, Prince, Victoria, and I look at the person next to her. He's someone I've never seen before. He was bigger and taller than all of us. He looks at me with death in his green eyes. He looks me in the eye. I'm starting to feel unease. Who are you? I asked him. He looks at me the same way. Who are you? I ask again, a little louder. He walks up to me with his bare body. Wait, I just realized that everyone is naked. He gives me the same look as he inches his way up to me. Who are you? I ask for the last time with fear in my voice. He's only a few inches away from me now. My breathing was loud. The death of you, he says with a calm voice. He bares his teeth at me and what came out his mouth sounded like a lion's roar. And of Jade's dream, Jade P. OV, that made me jump. Waking me up for real this time. I look around to see my room. I'm trying to catch my breath. My door opens, I see my mom walk in. Princess, who are you talking to, she asks. Know what, I'm still breathing heavily. You seen him in your dream, she says. Who is he, I ask. He was my first love, she says. First love, I look around her to see if my dad was here too. Your father knows, she says. First love, I ask. Will you like to hear? What happened between us, she asks. Yes, I say. Flashback as she tells the story. I love you, Carla, Raid says with a smile. I love you too. But I have to tell you something, Carla say to him. What is it, he asks. I think I found my mate, Carla says looking down. What, he asks. Yes, he's the alpha's son, Carla tell him. Stan. Your mate is Stan. That weak son of a bitch. You can't leave me for him. We've been together for 2 years now, Raid says. I know, but we're just kids. I have to do my job as queen to have him as my king. I'm sorry, Raid, but there's no other good way to say it. We should break up. I tried my best to stay away and acted like I didn't notice him. But my mom put me with him. And she's always right. She told me who your mate is, Carla says. Who, Raid says while crossing his arms. Agatha. Carla smiles. She's a beauty, she finishes. But you're more beautiful, Raid says. I won't say that. Agatha is a great young woman. She has alpha blood and she's part of the Werewolf Council. She has a very high position. Plus she's such a sweet girl. Carla was cut off. I don't care about that. You are supposed to be mine. And you're leaving me. Stan will pay. And you will pay. He starts to walk away and turns back around and slaps Carla hard on her right cheek. Carla falls to the ground and screams in pain. Shut up. You betch. He walks completely away. Stan was walking by when he sees Carla on the ground crying. He runs up to her. Hey, you okay? What happened? He says with a concerned look on his face. Raid slapped me, Carla says. What? Stan says in rage. Don't do anything, please. It's only going to make him worse. He's mad right now. And if he finds out I told you, he's gonna hit me again, Carla cries. Hell no. As long as I'm alpha and as long as you're my mate. He will not put another finger on you. He gets on his knee and sits beside Carla. To be honest, I want to break whichever hand hurt you. But I can care less about him right now. He takes Carla into his arms. I will protect you, he says calmly. Flashback ends for now. I remembered that as if it were yesterday. But back to the story, my mom says. Back to flashback. 3 years later. Carla was putting on her wedding dress as her mom and a few other women helped her. I like this dress, Carla tells her mom. You look beautiful, darling, one of the women says. I'm glad it's not expensive. I would hate to see it rip after the ceremony. My wolf is a little too rough at times, Carla says. All done, another lady says. Oh, look at you. I hate to give up my daughter. She's not done yet. Moon Goddess walks up to a box and takes out a tiara with gold vines and pink and white flowers. She places it on Carla's white hair. Now you're done, the Moon Goddess says. Carla starts to walk the aisle. She sees Stan waiting on her at the end. She looks around at all the pack members standing in front of their chairs. She looks back at Stan and stops in front of him. Stan holds out his hand for her to grab. Carla takes his hand and walks up to stand beside him. The Moon Goddess floats down in front of them as their backs are to the crowd. Alpha Stan, she looks at him. Queen Carla, she look at her daughter. They both bow their heads to the Moon Goddess. I have selected you both to be mates. To protect each other. To love one another. And to work together. She looks at the couple. The Moon Goddess will grant you strength, honesty, and a child, she finishes. The couple looks at each other. The blood bond is a part of the ceremony that will keep you both together forever. Knife, please, someone give her a knife. She hands it to Stan. Cut your hand and your mate will do the same, the Moon Goddess says. Stan and Carla cuts their hands and puts them together. Congratulations, you both are together forever. Now for the last part of the ceremony. Your wolves need some time together. So you Stan. Make Wickley kiss your bride and you both turn into your wolf. Stan kissed Carla. Afterwards they quickly turn into wolves and run off together as the pack screams cheerfully and claps from them. They made it to a small opening to the forest with a big flat rock in the middle. Carla's wolf climbs on the lays on her stomach. Stan's wolf climbs on afterwards and licks her face. Turn back to your human, Stan voices can be heard. Carla turns back and covers herself a little. Stan turns back as well. What's wrong, Stan asks. We're naked, what if someone sees us, she says. I told everyone to stay away from the forest today. And who cares if they see us? It's gonna be their fault, he smiles at her. Stan gets closer to her and kisses her softly on the lips. You're ready, he says. Carla grabs his face and lays him down on top of her. I've waited this long, she says, smiling. Stan smiles back at her and kisses her again. Flashback ends again for now. I hope you don't mind me saying this, but as many times as your father and I made love, we didn't think about having kids. That when I was pregnant with you, I'd have to say that your father was happier than I was. Your father was way ahead of me with doing everything. Took classes with the elders on how to change diapers and feed you and everything. Even before I could go clothes shopping for you, he brought home unisex clothes. And when he found out that you were a girl, he was very more excited. He had your nursery designed with a white crib and purple walls and other cute things. He filled your closet up with different size clothes, pampers, everything you needed. Your father made sure I relaxed and that I was stress-free. When you were born, he was just the happiest man in the world, she says. Back to flashback. After Jade is born, Carla lays in her hospital bed resting. Stan holds Jade and walks around the room. My goodness, you're so beautiful, Stan says to Jade. You may not can talk yet, but I have to say that other than your mom, you are the best thing that ever happened to me, and I will love you forever. You are baby girl, he continues. Jade looks up at her dad. Now I see what you've got from me, he chuckles. My blue eyes, he says as Jade closes her eyes again. Flashback ends. Life was so good at that point. Until my mother calls on to me, my mom says. Flashback starts again a week after Jade's birth. Stan, Carla calls him. Yes, honey, he room into the living room. Raid is back, she tell him. What? Okay, I'll get him out of here, he says. No, I have to fight him. So I need you to leave with Jade, she says. Hell no, Stan says. Stan, I need you run. And I need you to take Jade with you, Carla says, breathing heavily and crying. But I can't leave you. You are my mate. I am here to protect you, Stan tells her. Honey, this is my fight. I have to do this to protect the pack, but mostly importantly you and our princess, Carla tells Stan, trying to convince him. We are mates. We fight together. We die together, Stan said. I can't risk Jade's life. She's our only hope of werewolf kind. And you will be able to protect her. I love you so much. But you must go. I beg you, she tells Stan. Okay, but if you die, I will regret leaving you for the rest of my life, Stan hugs her. Don't regret it when Jade is a part of me, she says with her beautiful green eyes staring right in Stan's eyes. They almost kiss when the front door slams open. Carla jolts back and looks in the direction and looks back at Stan, though her eyes full of fear. Carla. The sound of Raid's voice. Go please, Carla tells Stan once again. Stan picks up Jade from her bassinet where she was sleeping peacefully and snuck out the back door, and quickly made a run for the woods before their house was surrounded by Raid's terror group. Carla stands her ground as Raid walks into the living room. Where is she? He looks down at the bassinet. She's gone, and so is Stan, Carla says. I told you he was weak, just leaving you here to fight me alone. You should have stayed with me, he says. I told him to leave. I wanted our daughter to at least have one parent with her, she says. Raid grown angrier and attacks Carla. Flashback ends completely. I fought and fought, she says. And he was stronger than me. He had his advantage due to me just giving birth. My body wasn't strong enough. I've lost a lot of blood, but I didn't pass out until I hit him hard enough to where he passed out before me. As I lay down on the floor, I left as if I were dying. But my mother came. She shined her light on me and I was up in the heavens with her. I wanted to go after you and your father. But I knew he felt my pain and our connection together was no more. So my mother helped him find another spouse. She was human, and they had your sister. I couldn't stand seeing him with another woman. But it's my fault. And when was Susan killed? I put it in your father's head to run again, but not only with you, but with your sister as well. Raid is taking your sister. She's still alive. She's fine, my mom says. What I was surprised. Yes, my mom says. Thank you all for joining me in the wild world of Wild Werewolf. I hope you had an amazing time. Don't forget to subscribe. Leave your comments and likes. And come back for more wild adventures. See you next time.